These last few days have been eventful to say the least, and I'm sure by now you've heard what happened in the United States of America. And I'm talking about the unaliving of a man called Charlie Kirk in broad daylight. Now, I have to be honest with you, before this tragic event happened, I had no idea who this man was. I must have been living under a rock or something because this man wasn't even on my radar. But since then, I've been down the rabbit hole, watching video after video, speech after speech, reading people's tweets, and I've been reflecting. I've been reflecting. And what struck me the most about everything was not just about who Charlie Kirk was and what he represented, his ideas, his opinions, and quite strong, I must say, but also how people are reacting to the news of his unaliving. Some people are devastated and they're mourning, others are celebrating. And in between all of that, one thing has become clear to me. We live in a crazy world, in a world that is full of hate. This is what has become crystal clear to me. And it made me stop. It made me think. It made me ask myself, how do I even survive in such a world? In my case, not just as a parent, but as a human being who's trying to live in peace and dignity. How do you live in a world like that? So this is what I want to reflect with you today. And by the way, please like this video and share it so that it spreads to more people. Now, here's the thing. Hate is everywhere. It's everywhere. You don't even need to look that far to find it. I mean, just scroll through social media. Just read comments online. People dehumanize each other every single day. We are so quick to insult, quick to call each other all kinds of names, to cancel and to dismiss. And it's not just in America, by the way. This is not just about America. It's global. It's everywhere. In Africa, we see it in tribalism. Abroad, we see it in racism and xenophobia, even in our own communities. The way we are so quick to tear each other down, and it happens so fast. And what worries me the most is that it is now becoming normal. As human beings, we have become desensitized to violence, to all kinds of attacks. It is now some kind of entertainment, and we see it in the way or in how quickly things are shared online, in how things like real life situations quickly become memes for people to entertain themselves. And we carry on as if, it's business as usual. People don't even stop to ask, what does this say about me, about us as human beings? In Africa, we talk about Ubuntu. I am because you are. What happened to that? What happened to us? And once again, I ask the question, how do you even exist in such a world? And if you're a parent, how do you raise children in a world like that? In a world I've just described to you. Now, for me as a parent, this question cuts deeper because I'm asking myself, as a parent, how do you raise children in such a world? How do you prepare them without making them bitter? How do you protect them without making them so sheltered in such a way that they are not prepared for life? How do you do that? Because as a parent, you want to protect your kids, but at the same time, you want them to be resilient enough to actually handle life. So how do you strike that balance? Because as a parent, when I'm raising my kids, there are 4 things that I talk to them about. The first thing I talk to them about is identity, especially as an African parent living abroad or living in the UK. I teach my kids about their history, about their culture, because I want them to be confident in who they are. I want my kids to know that being African is something to celebrate, not something to be ashamed of. Sometimes that can be challenging when this world that we live in is determined to convince them that actually you are less than, that actually you shouldn't be proud of who you are as a person. That can be challenging. The second thing that I talk to my kids about is compassion. As a parent, it is important to me that my kids learn not just from the things that I say, but from what I do. I must lead by example. If they see me treat people with dignity and respect, even when we disagree, then that is what they will learn. So, this is how we produce a world that is full of bitterness and anger. Our children are learning from us, they are taking the cues from us. The third thing is about creating safe spaces. To me, that is important, and especially when I'm looking at my home, I want my kids to feel safe, to know that yes, the world is cruel, it is tough out there, but at the end of the day, they can always come home and feel safe there. Home should be that one place where children can come with all their fears, their confusion, their anger, and not feel judged. They need to know that they can come home and express themselves and be heard. And the last thing that I teach my kids that is important to me is resilience. While as a parent, I want to protect my kids. Like if I could wrap them in a ball of cotton wool, I would. But as we know, life isn't always kind. So as a parent, it is my duty to equip them with the tools to cope. They need to learn how to navigate the challenges of this world. They need to know when to stand up for themselves and when to walk away. They need to know how to handle, how to navigate the challenges of this world. And when they hear someone say bad things about them, negative things, I need to teach my kids how to process that. They need to know not to carry the hate of other people in their hearts because that is not their burden. It is not their cross to bear. They need to be able to process it in a healthy way. Yes, some things hurt. I mean, I don't want to lie. Some things do sting. But at the end of the day, like I said, someone's hate is not your cross to bear. It is not my children's cross to bear. I'm not suggesting that they should ignore it. I'm not suggesting that we should ignore it either. But we need to know when to deal with things, when to walk away, when to keep quiet, and when to speak. Now, I'll be honest with you. As a parent, I don't always get it right. There are times when I wrestle with whether I have prepared my children enough for this world because, yeah, it is becoming more hateful every single day. It seems as if each day I wake up, the goalpost has moved. Yes, I have prepared my kids. I think I have at least. But when the world keeps getting worse and worse, then as a parent, you begin to wonder, have I done enough? And I'm sure it is a question that many parents ask themselves on a daily basis. But all you can do is your best. Now more than ever, as parents, as human beings, we need to be intentional about the way we move. And when we hear things being said about us or about situations, when we hear leaders or even, anybody really give speeches, say all kinds of things, it is up to us to be intentional about how we choose to process that and how we choose to react and when we choose to react. And yes, it is okay to feel anger, to feel hurt, all those emotions because, you're human after all. But at the end of the day, we shouldn't allow someone's opinions, someone's words, someone's choices about how they want to live their life run our own lives, determine who we become. Never allow someone's hate to poison you, to poison your mind, your soul, and your heart. I don't know about you, but this is how I'm choosing to live my life in a world that is full of hate. So anyway, this is the video. I don't know what you think. As always, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up.